What would you rate this book?
Initially,
From 1 to 5, I guess.
1 to 5, I would give it a 2.5 to a 3.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, besties.
Hey,
Welcome back for another episode of the Hello Bestie podcast. I'm Maggie.
I'm Tashima.
All right, we're excited to talk about our book for the week.
Yes.
So what you have for us, teams?
So I got to pick this week's book, which is For She Is Wrath
Mhm.
by Emily Varga.
Yes.
So I have a little description just from Amazon. A sweeping Pakistani romantic fantasy reimagining the Count of Monte Cristo, where one girl seeks revenge against those who betrayed her, including the boy she used to love.
I haven't read The Count of Monte Cristo,
Same.
so I'm wondering how closely related this is to it.
Same.
We'll have to put that on our to-be-R list.
Yeah. Even more so when I was reading the reviews, a lot of the negative reviews that I saw are pretty much saying this is nothing like the Count of Monte Cristo.
Okay. Okay.
That's the majority of what I saw, but because I never read it, I don't really know. But I don't know. Sometimes with stuff like that, I'm pretty sure the author wasn't going for an exact replica.
They're pulling
of the
inspiration
book.
from
Correct.
it. Right.
It's loosely based on, and it's probably the premise, I'm assuming, like lovers to enemies type premise is
Right.
what I gathered from the
That's what I
description
assumed
of
too.
that book that I read.
Mhm.
So
Why would you want it to be the same?
Yeah,
I wouldn't want it to be the same.
And that, if you're going based off of that, I feel like the book did exactly that.
Sure.
But
yeah.
without
feel
reading
that.
the other one, I have no idea.
Yeah, I haven't.
But there was a lot of good reviews as well. So it's kind of mixed. It's like a 3.6 on Goodreads.
Mhm. You have some?
Like,
You want to share?
no, because
Okay.
they're long. I
People
feel like
get
some
into
of
it.
these reviews are as long as the books themselves. So
Facts.
let's just say some people loved it, some people hated it, and on average it has a 3.6 on Goodreads. What would you rate this book?
Initially,
From 1 to 5, I guess.
1 to 5, I would give it a 2.5 to a 3.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's at like the whole experience, like that after having read it.
The whole experience. I don't say this
Really?
about many books, but this is one of those
Wow.
ones where I felt like this was a waste of time.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, I loved it initially.
Mhm.
For She Is Wrath, and let's get into it. Get your revenge, girl. And then it all went downhill when she saw Mazen again.
Mm.
Once that happened, it's kind of like, all right, I can see you still got feelings for this dude. Those just don't go away. But the ending and everything, it was like,
Mhm.
what was the point of all of this,
So when you're saying when she saw Mazen, are you talking about like basically at the end? Or are you talking about like when they were at the party?
When she first saw him, I understood the whole, remembering what it was like to be with him. Kind
Yeah.
of like her body betraying her type of thing.
Mhm.
I don't want to have these feelings for him, but I can't help it. Understandable. But when it started getting a little where she's really starting to feel him again and kind of forgive him for, like, girl, he put you in jail.
Okay. So
He didn't help
before we
you?
found out,
Yes.
okay, so you had already were like, this is annoying before we found out.
Correct.
Okay, that's
Yes.
I was trying to gauge, like, at what point.
At what
did that
point?
turn for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
It wasn't when she first saw him, I gave her
Mhm.
grace. I'm like, that love just doesn't go away. Even if you don't want to love this person. I
Mhm.
get that. But the more it was like, he really just got your head going.
Yeah.
Why did you escape from prison and do all of this? If you're just gonna... But it is a YA. And I will say, I feel like this is a true YA versus something like Akatar. That's
Right.
considered a YA, but there's all these...
Yeah.
Really? I mean...
That's like 18 YA.
Yeah. But this felt... I could see why it happened, but me who just was really in it for the revenge and the
Mhm.
I want her to get her, it fell flat for me for that reason.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was really surprised when I saw that this book is considered YA because when I think YA, I guess I don't really know what the age range is. When I think
Same.
YA, I'm thinking I could read this book and also hand it to my children
Right.
that are like,
Middle schoolish.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I think.
Mhm.
Middle school, high school. So even in this book, it's hard for me to think that this book is YA because when she is describing their intimate moments,
Right.
that is not a book that I'm going to hand to my kid.
Correct. Yes.
So, I don't know. Whoever came up with, like,
I struggle with the ages too and how they dissect it, because if you recall, not too long ago, I was really trying to figure out what's considered spicy and what's not. And then I read Hooked and I was like, oh, okay, this is what people are talking about when they say spicy. And then I read more stuff of that genre. So then it became very easy. So this was not that, but it was still more descriptive than you want to give a 12, 13-year-old. Correct.
Yeah.
So I don't get it.
They need to revamp the age range for that, because that's because she was a little descriptive, as good as it was. It's not something that I would hand to my youth.
Correct. The lines are very fuzzy on the age ranges for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that up until like the last few chapters, the ending, I would have given it a solid 4. But the ending for me was kind of like, oh. Yeah. Come on. Yes, yes. So I knock it down a little bit. Like, I don't feel like it's fair to give it a 3, but the ending just, to me, didn't really deserve a 4 either. It was just such 3.9. It was just a letdown for me because it was so good in the beginning. Yeah, it was I loved good. Her meeting Noor, them breaking out together, going through all of that. I felt like she was such a strong female character, and they just broke her down when she saw this guy again. Here for it. That's why I was so disappointed. Yes. She's a beast. Yes. She's amazing. She's so strong, but like ordinary at the same time. Correct. And resilient. And then towards the end, it just got kind of like, and even, okay, well, let me get into my question. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Yeah. Okay, so Dania's journey is shaped by Mazen's betrayal. Did you see his actions coming? How did this betrayal alter Dania's sense of self and her relationships going forward? Him doing that to her was what really charged her up and what really wanted her to get out, because it wasn't just that he did that to her. I think she realized very quickly that he was responsible for it. I don't really think that she went through a period of, oh, but he loves me, and trying to give him benefit of the doubt. He literally looked at you in your eyes and walked away as you're being dragged into a cell. She was very much like, this is his fault. When I get out of here, and I am going to get out of here, I'm going to end you. I'm going to find him, and it's going to be on. And my father got killed throughout all of this. That was a catalyst for that too. So that was sad. Yeah, because at the time she didn't know that her dad died, right? She's getting out trying to get to him and then found out later. So I think it was good in the fact that it was a catalyst, because she was in a horrible, I mean, no prison is good, but she was in a, you get in here, we throw away the key, you are never getting out of here. And it gave her strength to endure and strength to keep going. So speaking of resilience and survival, Dania and Noor both show extraordinary resilience in the face of suffering. Which moments best illustrate their strength or perseverance? Were there times you doubted their ability to survive? Girl, when Noor got put in that infirmary or whatever that was, and it was looking pretty rough because it was heavily guarded. Dania had to take on a lot of people to get her out of there. I think the warden was in there with her too. Yeah. That looked... Thospa? Yeah. It looks like, I don't know if they're gonna... There's a lot of moments like that where I thought they were going to be done for. I thought Noor might have died. I thought Dania would have gotten out by herself, but I wasn't expecting them both to get out together. Yeah. Dania I was happy that they did. I did too. It was what you wanted. They were really strong and balanced each other out really, really well. I agree. Just in their strengths and their weaknesses. Noor was definitely the anchor, despite her lack of like formal training in like being able to use a sword and stuff like that. She kind of was a little useless, but that didn't stop her from doing what she could in the way that she could. And she knew the magic and all of that. She knew where it was. And I love that they stuck together when they got out. It wasn't like we're just partnering here together and then we're going to break loose. They stayed together. Yeah, I enjoyed their roles in the beginning
I
very,
agree.
very
Mhm.
much. So Dania's quest is as much about revenge as it is about redemption. Do you feel she leaned more towards vengeance or seeking to reclaim her father's honor? Did your opinion change over the course of the story? And then how does Nora's concept differ from Dania's, especially as she seeks to use her knowledge of the Zorat?
It definitely changed throughout. I felt like she went to great lengths to get her revenge, as far as, you know, getting the Zorat and using the djinn magic to change her whole facial structure to present herself as a noble so that she looked totally different. I felt like she went to lengths to get her revenge. And then, as we talked about previously, it just kind of went downhill as soon as she saw Mazin again.
Yeah.
She tried to keep it going, but she really couldn't. And then I think that Nora kind of had some, I don't know if confusion or misconceptions about her father that she had to kind of like work her way through and find out some things. But
Right.
I think they both had intentions to get revenge for sure. Definitely altered throughout the course of things.
Yeah, it did seem like for a hot minute I thought we were gonna lose Dania to her like being consumed by this revenge and that she was very tunnel visioned and that there was going to be a lot of mess as a result. And I for a second thought that her and Nora were no longer going to be friends because it seemed like their goal was no longer aligned.
Well, yeah, Nora was basically like, you're kind of getting out of control
Yeah,
with this
you're
at this
doing
point.
too
You're
much.
losing yourself.
Yeah. But again, she was very much still an anchor, like calling it is what it is. Like,
Right.
you're doing too much. I need you to stay focused, or this whole thing is going to be for nothing.
Absolutely.
Discuss how the Zorat and Emperor Vahid's rule reflect the theme of power corrupting those who wield it. Did you feel any sympathy for the characters who sought power, or were their motivations too destructive? And I think with that we can include like Emperor Vahid, Castildo, and then is it Doberon?
Darberon.
Yeah.
I believe.
And even Thosfa. I feel like we could just, that's all encompassing of all of those characters seem to be really driven by that.
It's just the typical trope of greed, how people get too much power and then don't know how to handle it without it because they wanted to capitalize on it and monopolize it to where they were the only ones that hold this power. It was that special and it was that crucial, and they aren't using it to do good.
Right.
And they could because it had the power to do that.
Yeah.
They were using it only to boost themselves up, and I think that's where the problem comes into play.
Right. How did you feel about the way they executed revenge on all of these people? Like, do you feel like it was kind of chef's kiss?
No.
Really?
No.
None of them?
I don't think any of it was chef's kiss. That's why I was so disappointed in it.
I enjoyed the way that everything just kind of like, everybody got their due, and I enjoyed that.
Everybody got their due, but it wasn't by the hands of her. And I think for me, it's like, that just felt like karma just ran its course. They got what was coming to them by general
put it
karma.
in motion.
I wanted more of like a one-on-one type of thing.
Oh, like
I wanted her. Yes, I wanted her to end all of them. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So even Mazin really bothered me too because he went to the extent for his revenge, and that's kind of the moral of the whole story. Like revenge can make you do things that you shouldn't do and make you lose yourself. He got her put in jail because of his revenge that he wanted to take against the emperor. The emperor told him he killed his mother, laughed while saying it, and basically still raised Mazin. So Mazin is growing up under this emperor and essentially plotting to kill him one day. And when he had the chance, it was like, no, come with us, when the whole field was burning down or whatever. Yeah. It's like, come with us, come with us. And even her grandmother, girl, don't get me started on the flaw-ass grandmother.
That dropped my jaw.
I felt like that's your blood. I didn't expect her to kill her grandmother. I didn't. If she would have, I wouldn't have blamed her, you know, just devil's advocate.
I was like,
I wouldn't have blamed her.
Yeah.
But this woman told you that she set up the whole murder that got you. She put this whole thing in motion. She was the one who put the whole thing in motion.
Everything.
Got your daddy killed because she knew your daddy would go after you because she's still salty about whatever happened between him and your mom.
Yeah.
Got you
Which
put in
really
jail.
wasn't on him either.
And then the grandmother never really loved her. Like she made it very clear she was never an emotional woman. Even when she got out of jail, it was kind of like, what are you doing here? She was never expecting to see her ever again.
Yeah.
So when her grandmother's kind of dying or with the magic and all of that, you know, she's like, oh, come with us. Stop. Like, she doesn't care about you.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying you have to kill her, but don't invite her to escape with you. And the emperor, okay, Mazin, maybe you don't want to kill him anymore. Maybe you're letting that go, but don't invite you. Like, they just went to, it got a little hokey. Like, they went too far into the forgiveness and all of that for me personally. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
I mean, I know sometimes, like, you can be consumed by that hatred, and then at some point, not all the time, but you just have, like, this moment of, like, it's done. Like, I'm tired. Okay, let's just all walk away. Like, I don't think they were going to live together happily ever after.
Yeah.
But at that moment, it was probably him, like, I don't love you, but I also, like, I don't want you to die.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, do, 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 do.
Yeah.
Especially after all of that, you know, just the greed and just years and years of just all of the corruption and everything that he was doing. It just
he
seemed,
laughed at murdering your mother. He laughed. That's like the people in the courtroom who do horrible things and then the family is there and they smirk or that's what that was giving for me. So I you know, again, if you want to like forgiveness and I'm not gonna, but don't invite him to escape with you. You know, it just went too far.
The other cheek.
Hey, whatever works for them. It didn't work for me. That's all I'm saying. It's for somebody else. It just wasn't for me.
Did you relate to any one of their journeys towards like self-acceptance or personal freedom?
No.
I feel like I didn't relate, but I think I was very inspired by, you know, their resilience and perseverance. And even when things didn't quite work out, just being like, no, we're going to do this. We're going to figure this out. And how hell-bent she was on, you know, being the best that she could be. I feel like that was really inspiring.
Yeah.
One thing I can say that really dropped my jaw was the situation with Castillo. Her dad's friend that betrayed him and then had all of his swords. That
took such strength for her to go on that tour with him and looking, and she knows that this is all of her father's handiwork that he stole after he just
turned on him, and he is a key player in why her father ended up being murdered.
Right.
You know, aside from the grandmother, you know, it's just so many things. So many people had a lot of wheels in motion.
I agree. Yeah.
And that betrayal was like, wow. I enjoyed listening to like her and Mazin's love story, but I also felt the ending felt really rushed and too tidied up. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there was another book to come, but
would you read another one? Would you read a part 2?
I don't know. Out of curiosity, maybe. It's an easy read. Like, in terms of YA, it is a very easy book.
Right.
Like, it's not a book filled with, like, things you gotta look up or references that make no sense. I don't feel kind of like the arrangement. Maybe I do, maybe I don't, but if I didn't, I don't feel like I would miss out on anything because it was tidied up. But sometimes I question, and I didn't listen to like any interviews from the author, but I just wonder if they're restricted where they have to stay within a certain page limit, that sometimes with these books, things just feel like they're just too tidied up in a very short period of time.
I didn't feel like it was rushed.
I don't know.
That could be because after it got to a certain point, I was just ready to be done and I wanted to finish it. So when it finally ended, it was like, okay, we'll finish that one.
I just feel like it could have, I don't know, it just could have been, there could have been more that would have made the ending a little more complex, you know, so maybe, you know, she doesn't end up living happily ever after. Like, why does she have to be with him? She could have just, okay, fine, we partner up, you didn't do it, cool.
I'm not gonna kill you.
But yeah, like, let's just go ahead and work together on this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, dab you up. Best of luck.
Right.
I'm gonna go with my homegirl. She's gonna go traveling. I'm gonna open this school, and you and your sister can rebuild whatever this is. And yeah, I'll see you when I never see you.
I would have been okay with that. That's why I said where it got hokey. It went to like.
She deserved, I feel like she deserved that level of an independent ending just as much as it was in the beginning. Like, she didn't, this is one of those situations where you have like the Cinderella type story of, you know, like with the prince and they go off and live happily ever after. Why though?
Do you know what this reminded me of? And it's funny because I think this is one of the reasons why you stopped watching Power. Maybe like it started getting a little bit too hokey for you beforehand. But basically when Angie goes put in jail.
It was before that.
Okay. Well, she got him put in jail. I mean, it was her job, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But she got him put in jail and then was on trial, like death penalty type of stuff. Can I get off? He got off and then they end up getting back together after that. And even me, who really liked the show, this would not happen.
Yeah.
You can be like, I don't appreciate you doing that, but hey, whatever. I see you for who you are. Forgive you. Go our separate ways. You can not let revenge take over your life. You can forgive someone, but you can also learn from that lesson and not deal with them anymore. So to go all the way, that's what I didn't like that. It just seemed very unrealistic. You
just took an independent, resilient warrior and turned her into like a housewife.
Yes.
And I did not appreciate that for her as a character. I just wanted her ending to be just as strong and badass as she started off, because in the beginning I was like, oh my god,
yes,
she's a beast.
Yes, that's why I was so let down. Yes.
So I mean, overall, like for that, in the beginning I enjoyed it. The end I felt kind of like
I love the enemies to lovers.
Yeah.
I like that trope. I really, really do. But usually it's like we just got off on the wrong foot.
Like there's a slight, oh, I didn't know that's what you said. Or like there's usually something at play that is creating this thing.
Or we just didn't hit it off. We didn't get along. I thought you were an asshole. Like it's usually like that, and then it blossoms into something else.
Once they actually get to know each other.
This wasn't like we were already lovers in love. You super duper betrayed me, and then I just take you back.
We're kids. We know each other better than
this was like betrayal beyond betrayal. So like, I liked a little bit of the love scenes. I appreciate there being some romance in it. I just felt like they could have just created another character for her to be her love interest versus having it be him.
I don't even think she needed one to be honest.
She didn't need to, but if you're gonna have that in the book, it didn't need to be him.
Right.
So
I feel like I would have been completely content if you took the love interest out of it altogether and he was just like her childhood best friend. I know that adds a little layer to it to have the love interest.
I think that's why it was there, which is fine.
But I just don't feel like they needed to end up together.
Yeah.
Even after all of that.
Yeah.
You know, like I would have been fine with him swearing for the rest of his life he was going to prove himself, and she's just like, you can do whatever you want. Like I said, I'm going to be over here. Like, I just would have been like, yes, queen. That's how I really, in the beginning, thought that I would get to the end of this. Like, either she was going to die or we were going to come up, like, out on top.
Make him fall in love with her again, and then her just completely dismiss him, disregard him, and now he's begging to be with her. Just give
that
her
he didn't
something.
die fighting as she's being dragged down the hallway by her hair. You know, that's how I...
Yeah.
would have loved it to be. So yeah, I think that's really all the questions that I have without us like going round and round and round.
Would you recommend this book? I'm saying me with my 2.5 to 3 star, it would depend on the person.
Correct.
I felt it's not something that I'm going to reread or anything like that. For someone who really wants revenge and really like, I wouldn't recommend it to that type of person.
Yeah,
but
you're not
someone
gonna
who
get
just
that
wants a
big
decent
scratch.
story and, you know, yeah.
Just a read.
Ahead. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a book.
So I recommended it to somebody while I was still in the very beginning, and I'm like, oh, this book is so good. And then I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I don't think they read it.
Hey,
so
by the way.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you started it, but you don't have to, you don't want to. But it's definitely not giving what I told you it was giving before. So that part made me kind of like bummed out because I was very high energy in the beginning.
It was awesome in the beginning.
Yeah.
It was.
So, I mean, like, again, it depends on the person. If it's somebody who is an avid reader and they just consume content just because they're like, yeah, what's another book? Sure. But if it's somebody who's not really a reader and this could make or break their interest in reading, no, I wouldn't recommend it.
I felt very catfished with this book.
Really?
With the title. Now, it's just a flip of a word that would really do it for me. Because the title is For She Is Wrath. If the title is For She Was Wrath, that would have like changed things a little bit for me, because I went into it reading the synopsis like, okay, this is a badass chick. She's out for revenge. She's going to get it. But if I would have known like she was super into revenge, but life lessons taught her, you know, like I kind of felt like, but she's not Wrath though. She was Wrath. She was.
That's I don't know. I get what you're saying. So what's the next book that we're going to read?
Okay, so next week we are going to be discussing The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That's a very popular one.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to dig into that one.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a juicy one.
I think so.
All right, besties. Well, we will see you next week. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave your comments down below. Let us know some of your book recs, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.